It's the 1st of December, and this upload today is with regard to the legalities and regarding the spirituality aspect of my entire experience of human rights abuses and constitutional wrongdoings that the Honourable Government have refused to address since 2017. There has been a spate of initiatives of very irresponsible adults that have been disrespecting different fields of professions since 2006. They have persisted with their initiatives to disrespect civil society. Now, as I've mentioned in previous uploads, their efforts of revolutionizing and evolutionizing society have been quite demonstrably damaging, and they've been of very offensive conduct that I'm concerned about any professional individuals being of any accommodation to them. I have, as I've mentioned, worked as a teacher since 2003, and I'm a mother, and my child is being negotiated by individuals that have offended me and that have offended my royal family. So the individuals that have been negotiating my child that is legally a missing person is a very concerning issue in a modern day and age. Now, I'm a married mum, and the issue of individuals thinking that they have an authoritative position in designating and deciding the outcomes of my personal life choices that are not in any way safe for them to be discussing is a huge offence against the Constitution of the democracy and against the Declaration of Human Rights. So the matters of the legalities of the circumstances that have been ignored are quite serious and are worsening by the day. Any day a mother is without her child, or a child without his mother, is serious. As I mentioned in yesterday's uploads, my son has only one mum, and I'm my child's mother, and I don't know where he is. So the Ombudsman have been made aware of this since 2017, and there's a little collective of initiatives that are initiators or trendsetters or influencers, however they hope to consider themselves, that have been quite failed and lacking in credibility, lacking in courage, and they have been persistent in their disrespect. So this issue is disrespecting society, civil society, and it's disrespecting humanitarian values, of which I have protection from as a consequence of my good work. So the issue in this upload is the legalities and the constitutional wrongdoings on one hand, and on the other hand, my spiritual gifts, light and blessings being damaged by individuals in the community that have had poor practices conducted and that are by no means in good stead for the damages they've caused to my sacred life, body and purpose. So these individuals, as I've said, have imposed, and they've been of isolation, and they've been of negotiation and exploitation, and they've been rolling it in left, right and centre, and not paying their dues. They have not paid their dues of respect or gratitude, and they have not paid their dues for damages, harms and losses they've caused me. So today it's a very dull, changeable day in Tralee, County Kerry, Ireland. And as I've mentioned, I've concerns for climate change, sustainability, the environment, wildlife, nature, etc. I come from a farming background since I was a child, and I'm a farm owner, and there are people that have imposed on my farms, and they have imposed upon my family, and they've shown the height of disrespect. So this isn't just about the legalities regarding my family and the nuptials of 2015 and my beautiful child that's legally missing. It's also about the faith aspect of treason having failed since 2017-2018. and individuals persisting in their efforts to disrespect faith principles in this country on behalf of individuals that are of monetizing and exploiting and disrespecting. Now, as I've mentioned, there have been many initiatives by these culprits failed, and I'm only one person, and they've not only done damage to my experience, but they've caused and incurred demonstrable damage on others as well. And it's highly irresponsible that this entire situation is still ongoing. 2017 was when the Department of Health and the relevant authorities heard from me regarding these entire matters, and I'm still waiting, and I'm still experiencing violations of my rights, and I'm still experiencing wrongdoings, and I'm still tolerating these people in my proximity, and they're offenders since 2006. So the issues that these people have caused make them liable and make them liabilities. They have caused harm to people's lives, and they are not in remit with regard to my personal space or my personal identity or my personal information or my personal experience upon which they have imposed ignorantly. Now, the issue of these people being of initiatives and repeat offences since 2006, not having the courage and bravery to be strong enough to take accountability and responsibility for their failings and wrongdoings and defects of character. They've brazenly persisted into a situation of property and farming and agriculture where they have no place. So they have not just damaged family life and the family unit, they are also of an identity of fraud with regard to the spiritual light that they have damaged from my body. So these people are liabilities to the democracy, and I'd appreciate any credible professionals just acknowledging the track record and repertoire of failings that I've had to tolerate in this community due to these initiators, social trendsetters and influencers that are failing society and disrespecting society and disrespecting people's lives. The reality of the situation is that there is fraud and theft occurring again, and the relevant practitioners, policymakers, politicians, etc. are fully aware of the reality. They have heard from my DPP impact statements, they have heard from my formal complaints procedures, and I have not received acknowledgement or recompense. So the cycle of repeating similar actions, as Einstein said, is just insanity. I represent sanity and sobriety, and I can vouch from my good work. I'm proud of my achievements and my accomplishments professionally, societally, and personally. And the individuals that have intruded upon me in failed attempts of treason are failing society and failing their own identities and failing their own families. So this is a dull day today in Ireland. Climate change is a problem, and I have a concern when people aren't able to address problems of liabilities imposing and damaging people's bodies and privacy and etc, etc, etc. It's common knowledge. So I'd appreciate the concepts of courage and bravery being respected, and I'd appreciate those that are persisting in a failed endeavour since 2017 to avoid the concept of obstruction, and the people that have been imposing isolation tactics on a law-abiding citizen, a qualified professional and a representative of the fellowship. I'd appreciate it if people wouldn't mind not intruding so much in other people's families. The family unit is precious. It's the cornerstone of society. Now, my child is missing, and I'm wondering why I'm waiting since 2017 to have this problem addressed. So today, there's huge issues being caused yet again, interly, due to repeat incidents of fraud and theft. And policymakers, practitioners, politicians, you're being made aware there's a royal in Tralee, County Kerry, a property owner, a qualified educator, humanitarian that's been disrespected in her country. So I hope the United Nations realises the dangers being caused by social influencers pulling strings in the wrong places and making bad gains, doing bad politics and bad business with other people's fortunes and patronage, I might add.